Hi there. Are you new to the event planning or event producing world and you're wondering where to start? And one of your questions are, do you need a website? Well, I'm a freelance event producer. I've been in business for 8 years now, and I'm going to talk a little bit of how I answer this question when I get asked by new planners or folks just trying to break into the industry of whether they do or do not need a website. So stick around. Before we jump into it, I'm Logan Clements. I'm a freelance event producer based in Seattle, Washington, but I execute events here and all over the world. I do want to remind you to like, subscribe, turn on that little notification bell so you get notified every single Monday when I drop new videos. I do a lot of videos about Zoom, virtual event production, in-person, live event production, running my own business, you name it. So I'm also the co-host of the Better Events podcast with fellow event pro Mary Davidson. We drop new episodes every single Wednesday wherever you listen to podcasts. And those are episodes where we dive a little bit more into some of these topics that I talk about here on my YouTube channel. They're about 30 minutes, 25 minutes, and they're just a little bit lengthier discussion. We also have different event experts on to talk about topics from designing events for younger generations to show calling and how to go from TV into event production to much, much more. I feel like we have different guests on all kinds of topics. So listen wherever you listen to podcasts. So this is a fun question that I get from other event planners and producers or just people. Often it comes from people who are new to the event industry, but I also hear this from some seasoned event pros. And the question often is, do I need a website? And for me, full disclosure, I have a website. When I first launched my business and went freelance on my own back in 2016, first thing I did was buy my URL for loganstrategygroup.com and build at least a landing page. And now here's why I think that is the route that I did and the rationale I had at the time. And I felt like I needed something that if people Googled me when I was pitching my services, I wanted that to come to something professional. We have social media platforms out there and all these things, but I really wanted something that was my own. And so making a website was what I did. I also had a background in digital marketing, so I was very comfortable with some of the basic wireframing of a website, not coding, but the basic stuff. And while I haven't found that it directly has led to business, having that website now for 8 years is loganstrategygroup.com, I have found that it does still continue to legitimize me. If people Google me, search me, recommend me, and they search Logan Clements, my website's going to be one of the many URLs that pop up. And so my advice to planners is always just to create something. Have a landing page. Have even something that's almost a bare minimum of your resume or photos from you on event and all your social links. Just having something has helped me land, I want to say, bigger clients because I've had something for them to link to. It's also helped with my SEO, my search engine optimization for if people search Logan Clements, having a website where my name is on it and things like that just helps drive people to me and ideally hiring me. Now, I don't think it's a requirement. There are a number of event planners and producers that I know who have been in the industry for years, and they will say, I've never had a website. And that's great. If you can find success without a website, that's amazing. But I feel like if those are folks who got started maybe 20 years ago or 10 years ago or even 15 years ago, or had super strong networks when they started and all of a sudden we're in business for 2-3 years and then we're like, oh, I don't have a website. Often I find more of these planners I'm talking to are the people who have the passion, have the energy, but maybe don't have the work. So I would highly recommend you making a website. I host mine on Squarespace. I used to be on Strikingly, I think was what I used before, but now I use Squarespace and they have beautiful templates. A lot of easy drag and drop. Strikingly had it too. I've heard of people using WordPress or Wix. I mean, there's so many out there, but I found Squarespace was my favorite. I also then from knowing where to start, I looked at a couple different planners' websites and kind of cherry picked certain features that I really liked. And that helped me kind of Frankenstein my own style versus starting from a blank screen. So I highly recommend you doing that if there's any companies or agencies or just other freelancers out there that you can kind of figure out little pieces that you like and just make a landing page. You at least should have something that's who you are, what you do, maybe a little bit about who you've worked with, and then how to contact you. And my bonus tip that I'll have in here is one that I shared on a panel that I was on a couple weeks ago that continues to blow my mind that this is a true fact. But on my website, I've always had a contact me form. And if you look at any company's website, you're probably going to see a contact me form, which is great. It's lets people put their name, their email address, and what they want to talk about it. And it sends you, the business owner or website owner, an email. Now, a couple years ago, I added a Calendly link pop-up that appears at the top of my website that just says, schedule a free 20-minute consultation with me. Now, when you click that link, it takes you to my Calendly that allows you to schedule time with me. And in that, you can also put your name, email address, and what you want to talk about. But the shocking thing is the number of, the conversion rate, meaning the number of people who do a step and then end up booking me, is so much higher on my consulting calls than my form. My form is honestly probably 60% spam, 40% people actually wanting something serious from me, but 60% of it's just people spamming me, versus calls where I have probably 85% of the people who book a call actually show up and do the free call with me. And of those, a lot of them end up booking me. And so this was something that was so easy to put on my website, and it's just using a Calendly tool, which I love, that automatically syncs with my calendar for when I'm available, and you can block out certain days and times and all that good stuff. And that has just been such a game changer. Granted, I have funnels like this YouTube channel, my podcast, other content that I create that helps spread the word about me. So that might be different for you if you're just starting out. Don't think you have to do all this stuff. But think about having your contact form, and think about having some option like a Calendly to book a call with you. Because in the time of Zoom and phone calls, I found that some people just want to hop on a call and actually talk to you live versus filling out a form. If you're new to event planning, my main conclusion is yes, I think you should have a website. If you're well-oiled and you've been in the industry for a while and you don't have a website, you don't need one because you're clearly doing it right without. But I love a good website. I think it just really helps legitimize. And I like when I reach out to vendors or I'm doing research, I can find their website and look at what they've done, who they are, get to know a little bit more about them. And just that adds a little context for anyone that I'm talking to. Well, I'm Logan Clements. I'm a freelance event producer based in Seattle, Washington, and I execute events here and all over the world. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.